Hello, friends. Uh, Today we are going to understand the use of Google Form to conduct the survey or to fill up the questionnaire. This particular use is very popular amongst the research fraternity, and I'm going to discuss several features which Google Form has and designed specially for the purpose of conducting a survey or filling up the questionnaire. So these were three basic use of Google Form. In the series of this webinar, during the first session, we understood what are the features of Google Form for business, that is for registration or data collection. Today's session focuses on the usage of Google Form for conducting the survey or filling up the questionnaire. So let us try and understand what are the benefits or features that a Google Form has for questionnaire, questionnaire or survey purpose. So these are some 6 features which Google Form has embedded into that Google Form features. Let us understand that Google Form is a free of cost services available by Google and available to each one of us. What only we require to use this Google Form facility is one Gmail account, nothing else. If we have one Gmail account, we can easily access the Google Form and all these 6 features when we try to conduct the survey or fill up the questionnaire online. And these kind of features of Google Form is very much useful in a present situation where, due to some lockdown or unavoidable circumstances, it is very difficult for us to move away from the home and get the questionnaire being filled up in a physical presence. So understanding this six features would be very much helpful for conducting any kind of survey or filling up the questionnaire. To start with, 10 different types of scales. Beside that, we have 5 other benefits such as limited to one response, field uploading facilities, image video editing facilities, shuffle question order, and section subsection selection based upon the responses. In this video, we will be taking care of each of this in a details. To start with the first one, that is a 10 different types of scales. Google Form provide you the facility of putting up 10 different types of a scale in one questionnaire. It means you can use one, two, or a combination of multiple in order to make your questionnaire more lucrative, more fruitful, and collect the data of your choice. To start with these 10 skills, first two, short answer and paragraph, these are the skills which are useful for the purpose of getting the responses which are to be written in a verbal format. So any responses which are in a written format should be considered through this short answer or paragraph facilities. However, on the right hand side, we have also shown you the print screen of Google Form 10 scales. Definitely, we will understand how we can use those 10 scales. Another 4 skills, which are the second level skills, which will allow you to ask the questions pertaining to multiple choice or multiple responses or drop down menu or linear scale. We have one questionnaire which will show all this different, I mean, which will show the example of each of the different types of a scale. Another 2 types of scales, which are multiple choice grid and checkbox grid. And lastly, the scales which are related with the time, I mean date and time related scale. So let us first uh, check out one of the examples. I mean, this is one questionnaire which we have designed, right? Do not consider this as a real questionnaire. This is just an hypothetical questionnaire been designed to show show the various features of this Google Form to you. Right. So this is a questionnaire on survey on stress management during the COVID-19 situation. The first question, we are asking only the name of the participants or the name of the respondent. will be taken care by short answer. Another one is detailing, which will be taken care by paragraph. Let us take up this one. Short answer in paragraph, we understood. Now we want to understand this multiple choice, checkbox, drop, and linear scale. Let me go ahead with this. Look at this third question. Your age. Definitely. The respondent is going to choose any one out of this A, B, C, D, E. Okay. So this is a multiple choice question. It means a respondent want to answer only one out of number of options. That is called a multiple choice question or MCQ. Another one, fourth one, is also a multiple choice question, but in case of this profession, we are going to put them in a drop down menu. Drop down menu, in a sense, when the respondent will click on it, it can show first salaried, then second businessman, then third students, and fourth as a housewife. That's it's a multiple sorry, drop down question. The fifth question: which of the following is or are reasons for the stress level in COVID situation? Now, under this situation, I'm sorry, under this question, we allow multiple tick. I mean, respondent may tick on more than one responses. So such responses would be taken care when you ask your respondent to tick on more than one responses. That would be taken care by this check boxes option. So when you click on check boxes option, your respondent can tick mark more than one response as well. Another one is a linear scale. Look at the question number 6. How do you rate your stress level on a scale of 1 to 10? But 10 being the highest, 1 being the lowest. So that what it indicates? It indicates the linear scale on a scale of 1 to 10. If I want to put the same scale, then I should use the facility which is known as a linear scale. So I hope you understand multiple choice when your respondent will choose only one, checkbox when your respondent will choose more than one responses, drop down when your respondent will get the drop down menu one by one, and linear scale when you want the respondent to put on a linear scale of 1 to 5, 1 to 10, 1 to 7, whatever the scale you want to give. Another facilities are multiple questions, multiple choice grid and checkbox grid. Grid is an indication of multiple. So let us take up an example of a multiple choice grid. Look at this example. Rate the following statement on the basis of your agreement on a scale of 1 to 5. Now this is, see, I want to ask 1, 2, 3. I mean, here we kept only 2, but you can add 3, 4, 5. So you want to show the respondent exactly the same picture what it can be, I mean what it is there in this file, right? So how can I make this kind of questions? That is through this multiple choice grid. So multiple choice grid will give you an idea about putting several questions, and respondent will choose one option for each question. And another option is checkbox. Read this question. As per you, identify the usage of the following communication channel. Multiple ticks are allowed. The only difference between the earlier box and this box is, in earlier box, you do not allow multiple ticks. Respondent has to take any one out of this five. Here, the respondent can choose multiple options. I mean, if the respondent feel like newspaper are helpful in reducing the stress as well as increasing the information. So the respondent will tick mark on both this. Against newspaper will tick mark on reduce the stress as well as tick mark on increasing the information. So you want for every one questions, you want multiple answers. So that is possible through this checkbox grid. So checkbox grid provides you a facility of multiple ticking for single options, and you can prepare the entire grid like this. And now moving on to the time and date. So we have two more questions which will help you to get the time and date. For example, uh, what is your assumption about the lockdown reopen date? What is your assumption? So here the respondent will respond that one particular date where he or she is thinking that lockdown will reopen, and at what time you feel the most stressed. So the respondent has to answer you in terms of what is exactly the time period, the time at which he is feeling the most stress. So that can be answered through this date and time facilities. Correct. So these are the different 10 types of a scale which we are talking about. Now we will see that how we can apply those scales while we are designing the actual Google form. So let us enter into the Google form. What you are required to do is you just need to sign in to your Gmail account. When you sign into your Gmail account, this is how your Gmail account would looks like. Here, these are the various applications of Gmail. Click on it, select the drive. Clicking on the drive, it will open up a drive like this. This is what is a drive for your Google Box, Gmail. Click on this new button, move on to more, and you can see Google Forms. This is the facility which we are talking about. Presently we are discussing about this Google Forms. So even in Google Forms you can have two different types of Google Forms. One is a blank form, another one is from the templates. There are several ready-made templates available. You can choose from the templates. However, in this video we will be talking about the blank form. You can refer our earlier videos which will talk about choosing from the templates. That was for businessmen. So clicking on the blank form, this is what the blank form will open for you. This is a blank Google form, right? And now we will be going ahead with designing this questionnaire. To start with this questionnaire, first of all, I want to make this title as the title of the form. So what I do, I select this title, copy it, and just paste it over here where it is mentioned untitled form. I just paste that the title there. So that will be my, now it is the name of my Google form. And what I want is, even here, if I click on this, it will automatically take the names. So this is how you have started with preparing the Google form. Your first question was, we will go ahead with this questionnaire only. So our first question was name. So what we'll do is we'll just copy this question, put it to Google form. And what was the answer? What should be the scale? The scale should be short answer. So let me click on the short answer. This is there. Now I want this question to be compulsory. So what I will do is I will mark on required. So this question is now compulsory questions. I want to add the question. So this plus button will allow me to add the question. So I just added the question. My second question was detail about your stress level. Let me just copy that question. I select it, I paste Control C, and here I paste it. And this question was paragraph format. So what I'll do is by clicking this, I'll choose paragraph. So here my respondent will keep on writing whatever he wants to write. And again, I want to make this question compulsory. Similarly, add another question, which was the question but related with the age. So I copied it, paste it over here. Now this time I have to choose the multiple choice. So it is a multiple choice question. And in that multiple choice, I will put down each of these choices one by one. So starting with this, so I just copy paste every choices that will make my form. So by this copy pasting this, all the choices, you will make your form like this. Okay. To save the time, I am not copy pasting each one of the choices and clicking on the another box. Now I want the profession, and for profession, I will choose the drop down menu. So let me click on the profession. Be here, click on this drop down menu. Yeah, so I choose the drop down menu. In that first options, now I will click one by one each of the option. I will take it to that form. This is very simple because you will be simply copying and pasting from your existing questionnaire. You should what you require is just to have one ready-madely designed questionnaire which you can copy and paste. Okay. So similarly, you can add all your questions one by one and choose the best possible options out of this 10. However, one of the option we still left out, and that is a file upload. It is actually not the scale, but it is additional facility where if your respondent wants, respondent can upload any file and can send that file to you, and you will receive that file as a upload for your respondents, right? So these are all the 10 types of a skill which we talk of. Now we will be moving ahead to, because this is only the first benefit or the first feature. However, it is the lengthiest feature available to choose from. The remaining five are simple one, relatively simple one. The next one is limited to one response. You want your respondent to limit only once. I mean, you don't want them to respond again and again. So let's see how they will how they can limit. I mean, how you can limit them for one respondent. So again, coming back to the Google form, here in Google form you can see the settings, right? So by clicking on the settings, this is how your this is what your setting window will open up. Here we can see that there is an option put up as limited to one respond. So I will click on it and I will just save it. That means now my respondent cannot respond a second time for this questionnaire. So my questionnaire is limited for only one respondent. Another facility was file uploading facility. I have already shown that file uploading facility when we are talking about this 10 type of a scales. So along with this 10 type of a scale, there is an additional facility where your respondent can upload the file. So that is a file uploading facility. Another very interesting facility available with a Google form for survey or questionnaire, that is image editing facility. Now, for example, say one of my question is like this: rate the stress level of a man given in the picture. Now you have to see the picture and you have to identify. I mean, you have to judge what would be the level of a stress that man would be having. And now I want to put this picture, because this is a picture. If I will be sending this kind of a questionnaire in hard copy, people can see the picture. But this time I'm designing the online questionnaire through Google Form. So what if I want to put this picture in my questionnaire? You can very well do that. For example, let me add one more question, right? And this time I want to add a picture into this questionnaire. So what I'll do is, when I took my cursor to this question, I can see one image over here. I can see one symbol. When I click on the symbol, it will take me to my you can take the picture from your camera, or you can upload it from your computer. You can browse through your computer screen and you can just upload that through your computer screen. So what I'll be doing is, now I'll be taking up that pictures which I want to show it to my respondent. So what I did, I just pick up the picture, I just upload that picture, and now see that what happens. Now you get the picture. So the picture is available with you. You write down the question, or you can just copy or paste the question from your questionnaire, right? Put it for your respondent and ask them to rate it. You can put it as a as a linear scale of say for example 1 to 5, or say 1 to 10. So on a scale of 1 to 10, let them respond it on this. Sorry, we mentioned 1 to 5, so let me take it 1 to 5 only. Yeah. So on the scale of 1 to 5, now your respondent will tick mark on any one level of stress which they can identify from this picture. So that's the facility of adding the picture or even adding the video. I mean, if you want to show some video to your respondent, and then ask them what they get out of that video. So there is a facility of uploading video. You can see that you just click on this add video, take the video and upload it in your form. So the respondent, when answering your questions, can see the video along with. So these are additional features which you can get it, and which are available with Google Form. Another facility is shuffling the question order. Sometimes we want the question order should not be same for all respondents. It should be shuffled, and it should be shuffled automatically. So there is a facility called shuffling the question order. Now, say for example, if I have some questions and if I want to shuffle the order of that questions, right? What I'll do is I'll enter into the settings. After settings, I'll click on the presentation and see here there is an option called shuffle question order. So what I'll do, I'll just tick mark on shuffle question order and press save. That means now every time whenever the respondent will open this questionnaire, sometime the first question will be seventh question, and seventh question will be second question, and second question will be fourth question. And who decide this shuffling? Google itself decide the shuffling purely on a random basis. So that is another facilities available. There is another features available with Google Form. And lastly, and one of the most powerful feature is sections and subsections selections based on responses. Now, say for example, my this entire questionnaire is for India, and say for suppose one of I mean my I want to ask them a first question: Are you Indian? If they tick mark no, I am not Indian, then what I want is I simply want them not to fill this entire questionnaire, and they should directly be out from this questionnaire. Okay, so what? Let me put the question as: Are you Indian? Now, we popularly call this as a filter question as well. I mean, we want to filter out my respondent. So I put up a choice: yes, I am Indian. No, I am not Indian. So based upon these two choices, and let me make this question compulsory. So based upon these two choices, either I will allow them to fill up the remaining questionnaire, or I will not allow them to fill up the questionnaire. How do I do that? It means if the person is Indian and tick mark yes, I want him to fill up the entire questionnaire. And if he tick mark no, I am not Indian, I want him not to fill up the questionnaire and directly enter to the last tab, that is a submit part. So what I can do is over here in every questions you can find, I mean by clicking this, you can find that go to section based on answer. This is an excellent facility as I said. Now by clicking this facility, what I can see that yes. And yes, if somebody tick mark yes, presently the situation is it will continue to next session. I am okay if they tick mark yes. If he is Indian, he or she is Indian, he or she will go ahead with this question and fill up the questionnaire. But I have a doubt with, I mean, I have a problem with the second option. So if the respondent tick mark no, if the respondent is not Indian, what I want is he or she should not fill up this entire form, and directly I am clicking on submit form. That means if somebody tick mark on no, he will directly get the last tab, which is submit form, and he or she will not be able to fill up the remaining form by reading those questions, because this is a filter question. This entire survey was only for Indians, and that's why I don't want non-Indian to fill up this entire form. So these are the several features which Google provides us to design the questionnaire. Ultimately, by using these 6 features, 10 different types of a scale, what we received is an excellent Excel format database. So at the end of filling up this all questionnaire by several respondents, what we get, we as the designer of the questionnaire, what we will receive. So we will receive an Excel format. And how do we see that? Let me again enter to this Google form. So here you can see the questions, and next to it, you can see the respondents. Here presently it shows 0 respondents. However, we have already added few respondents. How can I see those respondents? Just click on this view response in sheet. Clicking this sheet, this is how your sheet will open up. This is the sheet which will show you the various responses that we have already received. There are several responses which we have received. For example, these are another columns. Yeah. So look at these columns. We can see that these are the responses being filled up by the respondents, their names, their details, their age, profession, from where they got the information, what was their level of stress. So this is a kind of Excel sheet you can easily receive at the end of this entire questionnaire. I mean, at the end of this entire exercise, just by clicking on the file and downloading it in as a Excel sheet. Now clicking this will download that Excel sheet to your computer wherever you want. You can just save this Excel sheet, and that is available to you. Now you can operate this. This is a very similar to any Excel sheet that you have. So it will open up, and you can identify all your responses in that Excel sheet. So that's the base output which we can get through this entire exercise of survey or questionnaire filling. So with this, we rest for the day and for the session. So should you have any query, feel free to connect on this given informations. I assume that this presentation will be very helpful to you, especially if you are conducting any survey during your internship, during your actual business, during your MPhil or PhD work. This will really handy to collect the responses, especially from those far places where usually we cannot go, but our respondent, I mean, our Google form can reach to even those people which are not easily reachable by our physical presence, and that will help you to design your entire questionnaire, sorry, to design and to improve upon your data collections. Thank you. Thank you very much for passionate hearing. Thanks a lot.